afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Live at 4. I hope it's not your garbage day. Those winds out there.
But the sun, at least here on the west side of Madison, popped out. Now it's getting a little bit better.
And we're in for quite a dry spell, which we need. So we'll get to the weather in just a minute. But first, after a pivotal election day yesterday, where does Wisconsin stand now? Political reporter Will Keneally is standing by with 3 things to take away from Election Day.
The former president is rallying his supporters behind him after pleading not guilty to criminal charges. I'm Nicole D'Antonio with a breakdown of what comes next in the case.
And a Diocese of Madison pastoral associate is sentenced for child enticement.
Let's take a look outside. Boy, the lake is kind of active.
A couple of white caps from the winds.
We have an alert day because of the wind. Finally, though, some quieter weather. Greg's out in the backyard. Quieter sounds good at this point.
Yeah, definitely, but the wind is whipping around here. I got things blowing around, even got a damage through the thermometer thing off of it, too. So definitely the one thing to notice this evening is the winds, the westerly winds right now. Gusting 15 to 25 sustained, even stronger with some gusts further west. So something to keep in mind, especially if you're traveling those north-south roads. Definitely going to have that crosswind, especially if you're a high-profile vehicle. There's those gusts, over 30 to 35. We should start seeing these subside a little bit this evening, but still, they're going to be blowing quite strong. So once again, it definitely is not the trash day, like Mark said. Hopefully not. Mid-40s right now. We've cooled off from the upper 50s to near 60 much early after midnight. We've steadily fallen this afternoon, and that will be the trend throughout this evening hour. Really, time-lapse shows those clouds, those stratocube clouds, those rolls, indicating that strong winds aloft are coming from the west. But we have gotten a little bit of sunshine out there, and that should continue. Satellite does show the breakup of the clouds to the west, but those cloud streaks that we've noticed due to the strong winds and turbulent conditions just above the surface, but we will see proven conditions. Overall, winds will die down a little bit towards 10 p.m. Temperatures will continue to fall back into the 30s as we get closer to 10 p.m. And then overnight, we'll be back down into the upper 20s. And once again, chilly when we had. But the good news ahead, like Mark said, we got a quiet stretch of weather. Once we get through tomorrow on those winds, we might see a shower late Easter, but we could, and we probably will, see our first 70 next week. In fact, we might see several days of 70s next week, and I'll break that down a bit later in the broadcast.
It's going to feel like a reward. Greg, thank you. First at 4, Wisconsin's spring election captured the nation's attention and headlines with a decisive win by Janet Protasewicz in the state Supreme Court race.
The Supreme Court election was called by the Associated Press at 8:53, less than 1 hour after the polls closed. Protasewicz beat Republican Dan Kelly in a 55-45 margin.
And then less than an hour later, the race for Madison mayor ended at 9:30 p.m. as challenger Gloria Reyes took the stage to concede to incumbent mayor Satya Rhodes Conway.
Last night's election flipped the balance of the Wisconsin Supreme Court. And
with a liberal-friendly bench for the first time in more than a decade, we could see a litany of new lawsuits come before the justices.
Political reporter Will Keneally joins us now with more on what that will all look like. Will?
Well, we've seen abortion be a key issue here in this election, and we're likely to see the high court take that up soon. Right now, there is a lawsuit currently working its way through lower courts brought by the Democratic AG Josh Kaul. It essentially argues that since Wisconsin has passed laws regulating legal abortion, that the 1849 ban is out of date. We could also see the newly liberal court take an axe to Republican union policy, Act 10 from more than a decade ago. And the court has also weighed in on the state's legislative maps, which liberals have long called an unfair gerrymander. Now, the current court weighed in on those maps last year, but we could see that change when Justice-elect Janet Protasewicz is inaugurated this August. But more on what a possible gerrymander lawsuit may look like for this new court, we'll have that coming up tonight at 5. Reporting from outside the Supreme Court chambers here in the Capitol, Will Keneally, News 3 Now.
We'll see you at 5, Will. Thank you. And with yesterday's election came an historic moment for Madison's Dina Nina Martinez Rutherford. She's become the first openly transgendered woman to be elected to a public office in the city.
The new alder for Madison's 15th district on the city's east side sat down with our Andrew Banstrid today, and he's in the studio with the story. Andrew?
Now, when you're making history, nothing comes easy. For Martinez Rutherford, who won this seat on the Madison City Council in yesterday's election by just 54 votes over challenger Brad Hinkfuss, that proves that. Now, she ran on supporting and creating more affordable housing for residents of her district and giving visibility to Madison's trans community. Martinez Rutherford, a comedian by trade, is ready to make a difference.
Like when I transitioned, I never thought that I would see trans people in public office, and seeing the visibility that's happened and knowing that I'm a part of this, just, I felt honored and excited. And
she added, too, that as someone who has lived through poverty, struggled to find housing, and has been discriminated against at her job, she believes that her voice carries weight in Madison. Now, like Mark and Susan mentioned earlier, Maya Sadia Rhodes Conway was reelected on Tuesday as Madison's mayor. Now, she's the only LGBTQ mayor in Madison's history, and she'll give her perspective on this historic achievement at 6.
Thank you, Andrew. We'll see you at 6. The Republican-controlled Joint Finance Committee kicked off their first stop in a series of listening sessions around the state on the state budget. Republicans said they will reject the governor's proposed budget and, again, come up with their own version. Joint Finance co-chairs Senator Howard Markline and Representative Mark Bourne are calling a road trip the fact-finding part of building the budget and said they were looking forward to hearing the local issues that residents raise.
People's opinions matter, and we'll listen very attentively today as we go through the budget hearing today.
And get her foot into
Next week, the committee continues the road show in Eau Claire. After that, they'll head to the Wisconsin Dells and then Minocqua.
A former Diocese of Madison staffer is being sentenced to 2 years in a Wisconsin prison after pleading guilty to child enticement. 31-year-old Rajnal Raimat worked as a pastoral associate for a DeForest parish and was convicted of having inappropriate sexual contact with a teenager. Today, a Dane County judge read the victim's statement in court following an emotional plea from Raimat for forgiveness. After serving out his sentence, the 31-year-old will be deported back to his native country of Pakistan.
Former President Trump is facing an unprecedented challenge, defending himself in criminal court while running for president at the same time.
Nicole D'Antonio has more from Washington.
Former President Trump's run for the White House may have actually been boosted by his indictment on 34 felony counts of falsifying business records.
He has more support now than he ever had.
A senior advisor for Trump tells CBS News the charges give Trump a leg up politically. The campaign has raised millions of dollars in recent days, even offering a T-shirt with a fake mugshot.
What they're doing to Trump, targeting him, is to stop him from running. They think they're going to take him out, but what it's doing is it's just making him stronger.
Trump responded on social media Wednesday morning, saying the people see what's going on and will not allow it to continue. Tremendous spirit right now in the Republican Party. But we're still 10 months out from the first votes being cast in the 2024 Republican primaries, and not everyone is happy with the former president.
No one is above the law. He certainly should be arrested or arraigned for all of the mistakes and lies and prejudices that he's caused in our country.
Trump's lawyers say they will try to get the case dismissed long before the voters go to the polls.
Is it a motion to dismiss for prejudicial pretrial publicity? I mean, is there a place in America, but particularly, is there a place in New York where Donald Trump can get a fair trial? That will be the argument of the defense.
Trump's next court appearance is set for December 4th. Nicole D'Antonio, CBS News, Washington.
And Trump will be on the road campaigning again next week when he's scheduled to speak at the NRA convention in Indianapolis.
Former Vice President Mike Pence will not appeal a court order to testify in a special counsel probe. That probe is investigating efforts by former President Donald Trump and his allies to subvert the 2020 election. Pence has stated he believes the Constitution protects him from being compelled to testify because he was serving as president of the Senate on January 6th. A federal judge didn't agree and last week ordered him to testify. His spokesperson confirmed today he has decided not to appeal.
Dramatic video from Jerusalem where Israeli police clashed with Palestinians overnight, storming a site revered by Muslims and Jews. Cell phone footage appears to show Israeli riot police pummeling worshippers with batons, firing stun grenades and rubber bullets after storming the Al-Aqsa Mosque. Israeli police say they launched the pre-dawn raid after what they called agitators barricading themselves inside. Israeli Air Force responded with airstrikes on Hamas military sites, and even as they clean up the aftermath of the Al-Aqsa clashes, both sides are bracing for increased tensions as Passover begins tonight.
Taiwan's president made a historic visit to California on her way home following a trip to New York and Latin America. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy welcomed Taiwan's president, Tsai Ing-wen, to the Reagan Presidential Library in California. It is the highest level meeting on U.S. soil for a Taiwanese leader in decades. Tsai is hoping to shore up support for her democratic nation as a threat of a takeover from China grows larger, and she was met with a bipartisan group of lawmakers promising to stand beside her country.
The friendship between the people of Taiwan and America is a matter of profound importance to the free world.
Beijing opposed the meeting and just hours earlier launched a military patrol operation in the Taiwanese Strait. Last August, China's military conducted live fire exercises after former Speaker Nancy Pelosi visited Taiwan just 100 miles from China's coast. Official U.S. policy recognizes Taiwan as a part of China, but President Biden has said he would provide military support to Taiwan if China invaded.
Are your taxes done? Not yet? Well, you still have time.
A little bit of time. We'll have some expert tax tips and deductions you may have overlooked when Live at 4 continues.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4.
Hey, I just got a text from my sister. You remember Rick, her neighbor?
Sure. He's the 76-year-old guy who still runs marathons, right?
Sadly, not anymore.
What? You mean...
Mm-hmm. Just like that.
Wow. So sudden. We're not about to have the we need life insurance conversation again, are we?
No, we're having the we're getting coverage so we don't have to worry about it conversation.
So you're calling about the $9.95 a month plan from Colonial Penn?
I am. We put it off long enough. We are getting that $9.95 plan today.
Is it time for you to call about the $9.95 plan? I'm Jonathan from Colonial Penn Life Insurance Company. Sometimes we just need a reminder not to take today for granted. It could be the death of someone you know or a health scare. That's why today could be a great day to call for free information about Colonial Penn's $9.95 plan. If you're age 50 to 85, you can get guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance starting at just $9.95 a month. There are no health questions, so you can't be turned down for any health reason. This is permanent coverage. Just pay your premiums for lifelong security. The $9.95 plan is Colonial Penn's #1 most popular whole life plan. Options start at just $9.95 a month. That's less than 35 cents a day. Your rate can never go up. It's locked in for life. Don't put it off. Take the first easy step. Call today for free information. And you'll also get this free beneficiary planner. So call now.
Call 1-800-290-3399 for your free information and free gift. That's 1-800-290-3399. There's no risk or obligation. That number again is 1-800-290-3399. 1-800-290-3399. Call now.
Hello, Colonial Penn?
Oh no, I think I lost my debit card.
Okay, don't panic.
Don't panic, we're in a mall. Some stranger's probably tapping new shoes, tapping a washer-dryer combo, just tapping everything in sight.
It's okay, just tap your phone. With BMO, you can use your phone to freeze and unfreeze a lost card.
I can?
And you can always get a new card instantly at a BMO branch.
I got my tap back.
You ever seen someone this excited about a debit card before?
Oh yeah. Not this excited.
When a bank gives you instant peace of mind, That's the BMO effect.
If your house was cold this winter, it's going to be hot this summer. And now's the time to get your home more energy efficient. It's National Insulation Month, and we're celebrating by giving you savings of $2,000. And just in time before you get those big summer electric bills. Spring's booking quickly, so don't wait to insulate. Call now and save up to $2,000 during National Insulation Month.
USA Insulation.
Welcome back. 5 of the busiest airports in the world were in the U.S. last year.
That's according to preliminary data from the Airports Council International. Atlanta's hub once again topped the list as the busiest by passenger volume. It was followed by Dallas-Fort Worth, Denver, and Chicago O'Hare, with Los Angeles coming in 6th. A strong rebound in domestic travel put the U.S. facilities on top.
Chronic stress, as you probably know, can impact your health, but a new study says staying active can help. It finds that physical activity, especially exercise, significantly reduces the symptoms of anxiety. Exercise reduces stress because it causes your body to produce more endorphins, which help boost your mood, while aerobic workouts like running, dancing, and boxing produce lots of mood-boosting endorphins. Even gentler exercise like walking works as well.
I shouldn't have skipped my workout today.
Yeah, you feel less stressed. Slowing demand for electric vehicles is driving down the price of lithium batteries.
Prices for lithium are reportedly down more than 30% this year. The drop takes prices back to more sustainable levels after their epic run. The situation is creating volatile markets that are making traders cautious. The price reversal comes as electric automakers like Tesla and Ford Motor Company are already cutting vehicle prices to attract more customers.
U.S. employers are still adding jobs, but they're starting to scale back. The private sector added 145,000 jobs last month. That is well below what economists expected. They expected 200,000. The largest job losses were in finance, professional and business services, and manufacturing.
Stocks wobbled a bit on Wall Street. The Dow Industrials added 80 points, closing at 33,482. The Nasdaq lost 129 points. The S&P 500 was off 10.
Well, the 2023 tax deadline is April 18th, yet millions of taxpayers still haven't filed their taxes.
If you're one of them, don't worry, there's still time to file. Earlier, I talked with Lisa Green-Lewis, a CPA and tax expert. So, Lisa, what advice do you have for people who still haven't started filing their taxes yet?
Yes, first of all, don't panic. You still have time to file. Second, gather all your documents in one place. So gather your documents that report your income, like your W-2s and 1099s. You don't want to leave any of those out. And then also forms and receipts that report any expenses that you may be able to deduct. And then third, you want to go online and e-file with direct deposit. That's the fastest way to get your tax refund.
Are there some new laws this year that people should be aware of?
Well, one thing that people should be aware of, under the American Rescue Plan, there were some provisions that were only good for tax year 2021. Those are either reverting or going away. So, for instance, the child tax credit, that was up to $3,600. That is reverting to pre-American Rescue Plan back to $2,000. The child and dependent care credit, that was up to $8,000 for 2 or more kids. That's reverting to $2,100. So if you were able to claim those in tax year 2021, you may see a difference in your tax refund when you file this year.
How about any new credits that filers can claim?
Yes, under the Inflation Reduction Act, it expanded and extended some energy efficient credits. So if you put solar in your home, that is up to 30% of the cost of the solar. And then also it extended some energy efficient credits for installing energy efficient items in your home, like energy efficient windows or doors. You'll be able to take a credit for those.
Do most folks take the standard deduction?
Yes, about 90% of taxpayers take the standard deduction after the changes under tax reform.
Okay, so April 18th is here and you're not ready. What do? Do you need an extension?
You can file an extension. You have to file that by April 18th. One thing I tell people to remember that is only an extension to file. It is not an extension if you owe money.
And finally, any interesting tax trends you saw from the past year?
We did issue a tax trend report the beginning of this year, and we saw a 10.2% increase in income. And we also saw that Gen Z and millennials, they led in job switching.
All right. Well, it'll be here before you know it, so get started if you haven't already. Lisa, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
And a reminder, the deadline, April 18th this year, not the 15th, so you have a couple more days to get those taxes filed.
But that's a good point that she makes. That's the deadline to file.
You still need to, if you owe money, you still have to send the money in.
That's right, that's right.
Well, you've heard of puppy love.
We'll show you what that looks like in real life coming up after Greg's First Alert forecast.
I want to ride this pony, but I suffer from low E.
Millions of people are suffering from low energy, commonly known as low E.
With my low E, I can never finish this trending dance.
Low E has hurt my performance in the bedroom. I haven't been able to make the bed in years. Now there's hope.
Planet Fitness replaces low E with Big E, which keeps you energized and glowing all day. Simply join through the free PF app. $1 down, $10 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends Wednesday, April 5th.
That's my boy.
At Lawton Cates, your life counts is more than just a slogan. Because around here, we're all about comebacks. Whether it's helping you recover after a car accident or return to the job following an injury, it's us fighting the odds and the insurance company to make sure you get the compensation you and your family deserve. No one loves a great comeback story more than Lawton Cates, which motivates us to fight for our clients every day. Your life counts. Lawton Cates. Call us today.
Hi, I'm Gary Canolti, and I'm inviting you on a holiday vacations tour. Join me as we explore classic Italy, October 7th through the 15th. Discover Tuscany's charming countryside, Venice's grand waterways, and the magnificent art of Florence. We'll also spend time in the ancient city of Rome, visiting historical landmarks such as the Colosseum and the Sistine Chapel. Visit holidayvacations.com, keyword WISC, for more information and to watch a travel show. Or call 888-557-1020 for a free brochure.
Fry Construction invites you to celebrate spring with our big spring thaw sale. We're talking about savings of 23%. Many of your neighbors already know how we strive to meet and exceed expectations with each and every project. That's why they voted us Best Roofer 3 years in a row. Experience the best of Madison for yourself with Fry Construction. Get on board with our spring thaw sale. Save 23% off gutters or insulation with any full roofing project. Schedule your consultation today at fryconstruction.com.
We'll take a look at this, a rare scene from a drawn-out battle. Drone footage captures the moment 30 killer whales go after 2 gray whales near the coast of California. You can see the overwhelming open ocean offensive as the pair of gray whales struggle to fight off the swarm. The owner of the Monterey Bay Whale Watch says the attack lasted for at least 5 hours. Both whales apparently injured, but were eventually able to escape. Mother Nature can be cruel, right? Yeah. All right.
Oh, Monterey Bay, I lived there for a few years.
You did?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's a beautiful area.
Clear skies tonight?
Clear skies, yeah.
Right.
You talked about that pink moon.
Yeah, we're going to talk about it again. Here's the pink moon tonight.
Yeah.
Okay, it won't actually be pink, just so you know. It's a full moon, and it will still be a sight to behold. It's called pink as a nod to the flowers and trees that bloom during spring. Also, keep an eye out for Venus and Mars tonight. They'll be out and relatively close to the moon in the night sky.
I love full moons.
Oh, I do too. Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah.
And it will be clear.
And the sun even's active too. You know, that aurora, we talked about it last week or a couple weeks ago. 32 states saw it.
Wow.
Wow. As far south as like New Mexico, right?
Yeah, that was impressive. And there's a big spot right now in the sun too that could throw some things. So hopefully the clear skies go. We might see some more fun with it.
And some clear weather as well.
That's the positive news. And 70.
70s.
Yeah.
That's too hot.
For me it is, but yeah. But I'll break down when to expect those 70s and how long they last after the break.
Very important. She's my sister, and we depend on each other a lot.
She's the rock of the family. She's the person who holds everything together.
It's a battle, you know, I'm gonna be there.
Keytruda and chemotherapy been treated in my cancer with 2 different types of medicine.
In a clinical trial, Keytruda and chemotherapy was proven to help people live longer than chemotherapy alone. Keytruda is used to treat more patients with advanced lung cancer than any other immunotherapy. Keytruda may be used with certain chemotherapies as your first treatment. If you have advanced non-squamous non-small cell lung cancer and you do not have an abnormal EGFR or ALK gene. Keytruda can cause your immune system to attack healthy parts of your body during or after treatment. This may be severe and lead to death. See your doctor right away if you have cough, shortness of breath, chest pain, diarrhea, severe stomach pain, severe nausea or vomiting, headache, light sensitivity, eye problems, irregular heartbeat, extreme tiredness, constipation, dizziness or fainting, changes in appetite, thirst or urine, confusion, memory problems, muscle pain or weakness, fever, rash, itching or flushing. There may be other side effects. Tell your doctor about all your medical conditions, including immune system problems. If you've had or plan to have an organ or stem cell transplant, receive chest radiation, or have a nervous system problem.
It feels good to be here for them.
Living longer is possible. It's true. Keytruda from Merck. Ask your doctor about Keytruda.
From working out to catching up, and of course, game night. Your home is the groundwork for all of life's awesome moments. This is Tom Coyle. My family and I say thank you. We're proud to have been a part of this community for 78 years. And during our 78th anniversary event, carpet installation is just $78. Coyle Carpet One Floor and Home. Beautiful, made affordable. Locally owned and operated since 1945.
Creating family memories is what Maple Leaf Landscaping is all about. We design and build outdoor spaces that bring people together. Landscaped spaces for any size family. Functional, beautiful, a place everyone will enjoy. And it all starts with a free visit at your home by one of our landscape experts. So call Maple Leaf Landscaping today and have us create an outdoor living space for your home.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Although we're a few days in April, we haven't said goodbye to March, but I'm sure a lot of people would love to have said goodbye many times. Based on the snow, you can see quite a snowy month, 25.3 inches. Now, granted, that was 12 inches of that occurred one day. So the lowest temp, 9, highest temp, 64. It was the 4th snowiest March we've had on record. Now, that's a different story. If you head west of Madison, we didn't have all that snow that one day. And then overall temperature, about 33.6, pretty close to average. But the one thing you'll notice, obviously, we had a lot of snow and a lot of precipitation, too. But things are going to be different here for April. It looks like at least right now for the second half of April. But for today and tomorrow, still those windy westerly winds will continue. Chilly today and tomorrow. We'll have 40s tomorrow, which we should be mid-50s. A little bit warmer to Friday. We should be back in about the low to mid-50s. Maybe western areas could get up in the upper 50s. So that should be where we should be. Oops, go back there. We clicked too quick on there. The good news is for Easter weekend, we're looking really nice. Mild conditions, 60s, even 40s for Easter morning. A shower maybe Sunday night, but then breezy conditions, but more southerly winds on these 2 days. So definitely a good weekend. The rain chance, like I said, should hold off probably and not till Sunday night. And even then, it's not that impressive. These two lows are beginning to push off to the northeast, so our winds should subside. High pressure is going to come in. But downstream all the way to the west coast, there's really not a significant system in store yet. Even the one that's approaching the west coast, which could be our thing for Easter Sunday, is going to weaken too. So overall, it looks like a nice stretch of really good conditions. As then we look at going through the temperatures tonight, we should clear out a little bit. The winds will subside a little bit, so we should get down to about the upper 20s to near low 30s as you wake up tomorrow with lighter winds, but still that westerly breeze will continue. Tomorrow, though, we'll have plenty of sunshine. The temperatures won't budge that much up to the mid 40s, maybe upper 40s in certain areas, and the winds will probably pick up once again in the afternoon. Thursday night, a little bit more cloud cover, but you'll see the notice in the change in the wind directions. Coming Friday, I think we'll notice a change come Friday as definitely you'll have northeast winds off the lake here that'll keep the temperatures probably in the low 50s, but points to the west, Boswell, Prairie du Chien on Friday, there'll be southwesterly winds so far enough away from that northeast breeze, they'll probably be pushing 60 degrees by that time. So that's the good news. The end of the week should be fairly nice for most areas. Not everyone will see it, but it looks good. Wind-wise, by 8 p.m., 9 p.m., we should start seeing more 10 to 15 mile per hour winds, a little bit lighter overnight. Coming in tomorrow morning, should be 10 to 15, but then you notice after 9, once the sun comes up, we're going to start heating a little bit. We'll get those winds pick up to 15 to 20, and then in the afternoon, probably 20 to 25. Once again, westerly winds, not as strong today, but still, they will be quite breezy out there. Average temp, we already hit that. You think we're going to hit that next week? It's definitely going to happen because if you look at the temperatures, we go up. That's where the last 2 weeks, we're going to be well above average for probably the next 1.5, 2 weeks, it looks like for right now. And that means if you look at their high temperatures, we have quite a few 70s coming in the picture by next week with maybe mid-70s. So a nice stretch of weather. No significant really rain chances until we probably get to Thursday or Friday of next week. And even then, that doesn't look that impressive. So it's going to be a nice stretch of weather, even for Easter. 64 degrees with that light shower that'll come more at night than during the daytime. So
get those spring flowers going.
Oh yeah, now we're turning the corner.
Yeah, well,
no, don't jinx it.
Don't jinx it. You just jinx it because we still got. You know, I think someone reminded me 1973. They had 12 inches of snow a couple days ago. So.
More people are taking up, thanks Greg, more people are taking up gardening.
Well, it's a hobby that's good for both body and mind. It can be really tough on your back. If you probably know this if you're a gardener. If you're not careful, gardening involves a lot of different movements, from standing and crouching, bending over and squatting, which can lead to lower back pain and more. To help prevent injuries, doctors at the Cleveland Clinic have some advice before you even start.
We have to prepare our muscles so that our muscles serve as that structural basis for all that our skeletons have to do.
Avoid sudden twisting or reaching motions. Adjust your posture frequently. Keep objects close to your body when lifting and try to maintain the natural curves of the spine as you work. Finally, they recommend end your gardening day the way you started it, by stretching again.
Good advice.
Yeah.
Well, a pair of pooches carrying on a long-distance romance has some people jealous of just how intense their bond seems to be.
CNN's Jeannie Mose has more on the dogs whose FaceTime videos are now going viral.
When's the last time someone was this excited to see you after a separation? Meet Rollo and Sadie. Watch them meet after being apart and check out their faces when they FaceTime. This is the video that had viewers howling. Sadie, a Husky and German Shepherd cross, and Rollo, a Rottweiler Shepherd mix, met during the pandemic when their owners moved into different apartments in the same house in the Canadian city of Edmonton.
Sadie's never really been the biggest fan of other dogs, but when she met Rollo, she whined and cried and laid down on her back like she'd just met the love of her life.
Every time they see each other, he goes insane.
But then Rollo's owner moved 3 hours away for a job opportunity.
We do FaceTime every Thursday night so the dogs can see each other.
The whining, the howling. their reunions are joyous, and their owners are also best friends. They say there's a chance they'll all move back under the same roof, but until then...
That's your buddy, isn't it? Yeah, that's your buddy.
During our remote interview, it was more sound than sight that set them off. He began looking for her, headed for the window. Rollo and Sadie are the Romeo and Juliet of dogs. For never was a story of more woe than this of Sadie and her Rollo. Parting may be such sweet sorrow, but reunions are a ball. Chinimos, CNN, New York.
That is so funny. I love the...
Yeah. Dogs are special.
Incredible. It's incredible.
Coming up next here on Live before we preview a very special event on CBS, a Grammy salute to the Beach Boys. Stay tuned for that.
And then coming up next hour at 5, new details on the man arrested for stringing cords across a Madison bike path last summer. That's coming up at 5.
Hey, I just got a text from my sister. You remember Rick, her neighbor?
Sure. He's the 76-year-old guy who still runs marathons, right?
Sadly, not anymore.
What? You mean...
Mm-hmm. Just like that.
Wow. So sudden. We're not about to have the we need life insurance conversation again, are we?
No, we're having the we're getting coverage so we don't have to worry about it conversation.
So you're calling about the $9.95 a month plan from Colonial Penn?
I am. We put it off long enough. We are getting that $9.95 plan today.
Is it time for you to call about the $9.95 plan? I'm Jonathan from Colonial Penn Life Insurance Company. Sometimes we just need a reminder not to take today for granted. It could be the death of someone you know or a health scare. That's why today could be a great day to call for free information about Colonial Penn's $9.95 plan. If you're age 50 to 85, you can get guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance starting at just $9.95 a month. There are no health questions, so you can't be turned down for any health reason. This is permanent coverage. Just pay your premiums for lifelong security. The $9.95 plan is Colonial Penn's #1 most popular whole life plan. Options start at just $9.95 a month. That's less than 35 cents a day. Your rate can never go up. It's locked in for life. Don't put it off. Take the first easy step. Call today for free information. And you'll also get this free beneficiary planner. So call now.
Call 1-800-290-3399 for your free information and free gift. That's 1-800-290-3399. There's no risk or obligation. That number again is 1-800-290-3399. 1-800-290-3399. Call now.
Hello, Colonial Penn?
This is Sydney. She's on hour 3 of a meeting about office refrigerator etiquette. With my dream sectional, she could take that call outside and bask in the sun on comfy cushions. And it doesn't just feel like a dream, it fits like one too, thanks to a clever modular design. With nature-defying features like weather-resistant wicker, rust-proof frames, and UV-resistant fabric in gray and navy. Plus fun add-ons that give your outdoor space indoor comfort and quality. Take a break from boring meetings this spring break at Bob's.
Tonight at 5, as the Wisconsin Supreme Court shifts to liberal control, our political reporter Will Keneally has the top 3 issues that the court may address first.
While it'll remain windy through tomorrow morning, the overall weather pattern will finally settle down for at least a week. Rain chances will be low if any rain is expected at all, and temperatures will warm up next week. At 5, I'll let you know how mild it'll get.
Then at 6, a Madison City Council race came down to the wire. See how it proves that every vote matters. That's coming up tonight on News 3 Now at 6.
Taking a look outside at downtown Madison. The sun is out. Looks pretty nice.
Nice to see. It's still windy out there this afternoon.
Yeah, we got an alert day for that. Wouldn't it be nice to honor the legendary music of the Beach Boys? I see, wouldn't it be nice as a song? I didn't pick that. This Sunday night, CBS and the Recording Academy will do just that with the star-studded concert, a Grammy salute to the Beach Boys.
Celebrating their 60th anniversary, the Recording Academy Lifetime Achievement Award recipients are featured guests as a lineup of today's top contemporary artists perform the band's greatest hits. We have an inside look.
Ba 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 ba.
I am so thankful that the Recording Academy has devoted an entire night to celebrating the Beach Boys.
Such a fantastic honor. We've been going at it for 60 years.
Tonight, we celebrate their legacy as musicians come together to perform their most iconic songs.
What people can look forward most to this is seeing all their favorite artists sing some really familiar songs in kind of an unfamiliar way.
The Beach Boys music is so timeless.
They've truly influenced so much of music culture today.
We all have stories with our families of growing up having this music played all through our house.
Brian's great ballads, always spoke to your loneliness.
Sing it. Brian, Mike, Al, Bruce, David, Dennis, and Carl, we want to say thank you.
I never expected to be honored in this way, where we sit and watch these great artists sing Brian and Mike's music.
We're here as a harmony group celebrating the harmony group.
A group that personifies Americana music.
I don't know if there's a band around that isn't inspired by the Beach Boys.
Right.
They're absolutely incredible. They've been the soundtrack to all of our lives for so long.
Some of the best music on the planet.
When you peel back the layers, you just get better and better and better stuff. There's like this genius that is passed off as like just kind of a good time.
The tone of the voices was so beautiful.
Their harmonies and their songs and their energy, and it's just perfection.
Are you kidding me? Those guys are amazing. And just for a chance to sing these songs in front of the Beach Boys, everybody here is like over the moon.
It means a lot to us. How can you not feel wonderful? It's all about the songs and all about the singers, and I think they're all great.
And don't miss a Grammy salute to the Beach Boys. It's this Easter Sunday, April 9th, 7 o'clock on CBS, and available to stream live and on demand on Paramount+.
What a list of stars and singers. Wow.
Quick traffic update here. This is a live look at the Beltline.
Oh, it's a mess this afternoon.
This is looking east from the Whitney Way. There's an accident at Verona Road on the Beltline. 2 of the lanes are closed, so avoid that at all possible, and we'll have an update from Greg on that in just a second. The spring election is in the books, and it could change the face of politics in Wisconsin.
Marquette Law School poll director Charles Franklin will join us next. We'll run down the numbers and talk about the impact. That's when Live at 4 continues.
Outlets at the Dells, an attraction not to be missed. With over 60 of the world's biggest brands, we thrill family vacationers, trendsetters, and all who love a smoking hot discount. We are all about the thrill of the deal, the joy of finding the thing you forgot to pack, the swimsuit that's the hit of the park, the dress that makes you walk with swagger, and the discounts that no one else can touch. Save even more with 25% off and get a free Outlets gift card. Visit outletsatthedells.com for coupon and details.
There are so many things we take for granted, and along with them, sometimes we take the people who depend on them for granted too. How can they survive with record increases in their basic cost of living, and through no fault of their own, they're being left behind? If you or someone you know needs a hand up, our energy and water providers are working together to keep you safely in your home. You may not ask for it, but we're here to help.
There's nothing better than a great night's sleep on a new Beauty Rest mattress from Steinhafels. Beauty Rest mattresses are assembled in Wisconsin, and right now queens start at just $4.99. Or upgrade to the luxury and comfort of a Beauty Rest Black and get $200 in Steinhafels cash. Beauty Rest Black Queen mattresses start at just $49 per month when you use Steinhafels' special 72-month financing. Shop in-store or online today at steinhafels.com.
Heart is the beat of life. If you have heart failure,
Entrust your heart to Entresto. Entresto helps improve your heart's ability to pump blood to the body. Don't take Entresto if pregnant. It can cause harm or death to an unborn baby. And don't take Entresto with an ACE inhibitor or aliskiren, or if you've had angioedema with an ACE or ARB. The most serious side effects are angioedema, low blood pressure, kidney problems, or high blood potassium. Ask your doctor if Entresto is right for you.
Do you suffer with pain, numbness, and tingling in the hands or feet? Commonly diagnosed as peripheral neuropathy? Are you taking drugs such as Lyrica or gabapentin that have serious side effects and often do not relieve your symptoms? Your doctor has told you you may just have to live with the pain. Peripheral neuropathy is a result of damage to the nerves, often causing burning, weakness, pain, numbness, tingling, and the most debilitating balance problems. Our facility uses multiple therapeutic methods to help give you relief from neuropathy symptoms with no injections and no drugs. You may start seeing relief after only a few sessions. To determine if your neuropathy symptoms can be relieved, we will do a consultation to evaluate the extent of your condition. Call us today to schedule your neuropathy consultation to find out if you're a candidate for our therapy. Call today.
As you already noted, we do have that crash in the Beltline East near Whitney Way. It's now the left two lanes are still basically blocked, and we've noticed that red has been increasing steadily towards the west. So if you can avoid that area, that's probably the best idea right now. We also got a crash, US 51 at Wisconsin 30 up to there that just showed up too. And if you're heading south towards Stoughton, we also got a road closure on 51-2 that popped up about 20 minutes ago. In that area, northbound lane is also closed right now. So a couple accidents to speak of. Otherwise, to the north, to the interstate, we're not seeing any issues. And if we go further south towards Janesville, overall, things are looking good. So right now, really, it's the Beltway, the west side, southwest side, if you want to avoid that until that can clear up. Otherwise, you guys, those west winds will continue, but should die off later tonight.
Yeah, stay clear of the eastbound Beltline. Well, 10 Chilean artists were summoned to the Remembrance Park in Santiago to paint large sculptural Easter eggs. The end result was the Easter Colors exhibition, which will run through the rest of April. The managers of the park say the exhibit is one of the cultural activities that families can enjoy at this place. Boy, that's beautiful. It is
Good
stunning.
idea.
Well, Wisconsin voters shifted the balance of the state Supreme Court in last night's spring election.
Republicans in the state Senate will have a supermajority after a special election in the 8th district.
But the last 4 statewide races have gone Democratic. Is Wisconsin becoming a blue state instead of purple? The director of the Marquette Law School poll, Charles Franklin, is with us live from Milwaukee. Charles, good to see you.
Hi, Charles.
Good to be here.
So are we turning blue?
Well, we're drifting that way. I certainly wouldn't call us a solidly blue state, but on the Supreme Court, the Liberal candidate has won 3 of the last 4 elections, and the one that the Conservative won was basically a 50-50 tie. So we still have these really close presidential races and sometimes close governor's races. And of course, we had just a 1-point Senate race that Ron Johnson won last fall. So I think we're still a pretty purple state. But on the Supreme Court, the voters have been really pretty positive to liberal candidates in, as I say, 3 of the last 4 elections.
So this is the first time since 2008 that the Democrats have had control of 2 wings of the government.
Yes, the court has been with a conservative majority for a long time. Obviously, the governorship changed in 2018, but the legislature is so solidly Republican right now that there's really not much chance that elections would swing so much as to flip the legislature. In contrast, the legislature flipped in 2006, again in 2008, and again in 2010 with at least 1 house changing hands. So those days of 3 changes in 3 elections we haven't seen since 2010.
And last night there was speeches made, and Dan Kelly was not too kind in his concession speech. Let's take a listen.
I wish that in a circumstance like this, I would be able to concede to a worthy opponent. But I do not have a worthy opponent to which I can concede. This was the most deeply deceitful, dishonorable, despicable campaign I have ever seen run for the courts. It was truly beneath contempt.
And Kelly is making national news with that speech. Dividing doesn't help, does it?
Well, it usually does not. It does reflect how bitter our rhetoric has become in the last 5 or 6 years, how deeply unwilling candidates are to give the candidate of the other party any benefit of the doubt or honest disagreement. So that's too bad. Concession speeches may not have ever been sincere, but they usually at least put some window dressing on them.
What will it mean? Let's talk about the 8th Senate District special election. What will it mean now that the Republicans will have a supermajority in the state Senate?
Right. Well, this was a case of a Republican who retired and has now had that seat replaced by a Republican. So it doesn't change anything that wasn't already there in the party balance. It was an opportunity, if Democrats could have won that seat, to prevent a 2/3 Republican majority in the Senate. There's less than that in the Assembly at this point. That race ended up being a good bit closer than we usually expect for that district. So that reflects, again, some of the pressures that are favoring Democrats right now. I think the real question is, over the next months and years, how do we see this antagonism between the Supreme Court and the legislature work its way out? And I think we just have to wait to see how they handle themselves.
What do you think the major issues will be for the new Supreme Court?
Well, I certainly think that we're going to see cases dealing with abortion, probably dealing with redistricting or gerrymandering. Janet Protasiewicz was forthright about things that she values and thinks are important principles, and the voters supported her with those things out in the open. So I would be really surprised not to see them. Remember, in the conservative majority on the court, we saw a series of organizations with ideological preferences coming to the court to get policies they couldn't get from the legislature and the governor. With a liberal majority, I expect we will see organizations with a liberal bent coming to the court. So we'll have to see how much that changes actual outcomes, and in what particular cases might it matter? What other cases might it lead to no change in rulings from the past?
As we say in TV, stay tuned. Yeah. Charles, thanks for being with us today.
Great to see you, Charles. Thank you.
We'll have a final check of your forecast coming up.
Have you heard? We've outgrown our space. Again! Save up to half off floor samples and special orders at Dwellings Construction Sale.
Dwellings, interior design and home furnishings.
Still Madison's best kept $150 secret.
At Revamp, we transform your old beat-up concrete from this to this in one day. We grind down the concrete to open up the pores for a perfect bond. Then we repair all cracks and apply our base coat and chip and seal it with our polyaspartic top coat that will never chip, peel, or discolor. On top of all that, our coatings are ridiculously easy to clean and covered by our exclusive lifetime warranty. And right now, we're running our 60-60-60 sale. So when you purchase your new concrete coating from any of our Revamp brands, you get a $60 Visa gift card, plus either 60% off the installation or 60-month no-interest financing. And when you call during this program, you'll also get up to 10 carbon fiber concrete stitches free, which help reinforce cracks and stop them from spreading. A $350 value for free.
South Central Wisconsin homeowners, pick up the phone. Call 1-800-886-8411. That's 1-800-886-8411.
Tomorrow is about putting in the energy today. That's why we're investing another $4 billion in renewables and low-carbon solutions, bridging to a sustainable energy future.
Have you heard? We've outgrown our space. Again! Save up to half off floor samples and special orders at Dwellings Construction Sale.
Dwellings, interior design and home furnishings.
Still Madison's best kept $150 secret.
Last night's election flipped the balance of the state Supreme Court, but where do we go from here? We'll take a look at the cases upcoming for the state Supreme Court.
And we were inside the courtroom today for the sentencing hearing of a Diocese of Madison pastoral associate. That's coming up at 5. A record-breaking spring election.
I am so excited for Wisconsin and for Madison tonight.
Judge Janet Protasiewicz will become the next Supreme Court justice in Wisconsin.
We did it! We did it!
Looking at windy conditions this afternoon and even through tomorrow, just westerly winds. Cooler tomorrow, 40s, 50s Friday. This weekend looks mild. Easter looks to be mid-60s, and then we might even have a 70 coming next week. Plenty of them, so good news on all fronts of the weather conditions.
All right, Greg, thank you. Tomorrow here on Live at 4, veterinarian Carrie Donahue answers your pet health questions live.
And we'll visit Didier Greenhouses in Rockford. It is one of the largest Easter lily growers in the Midwest. That's coming up tomorrow on Live at 4.
No, I think I lost my debit card.
Okay, don't panic.
Don't panic, we're in a mall. Some stranger's probably tapping new shoes, tapping a washer-dryer combo, just tapping everything in sight.
It's okay, just tap your phone. With BMO, you can use your phone to freeze and unfreeze a lost card.
I can?
And you can always get a new card instantly at a BMO branch.
I got my tap back.
You ever seen someone this excited about a debit card before?
Oh, yeah. Not this excited.
When a bank gives you instant peace of mind, that's the BMO effect.
An important message for Americans age 50 to 85.
How's John?
Oh, much better.
That was quite a scare.
Got us thinking about a lot of things, like life insurance. If something happened to either one of us, we'd really be in trouble. But where can we get coverage with John's health problems on a fixed income?
Go with the sure thing. Colonial Penn.
Friends have been telling friends about Colonial Penn guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance for more than 50 years, and with good reason. If you're between the ages of 50 and 85, it's a sure thing. Your acceptance is guaranteed because full benefits are not paid in the first 2 years. You don't need a physical exam, and we won't ask about your health. You cannot be turned down. And the price? Options start at $9.95 a month, less than 35 cents a day.
I don't know. What if the price goes up as we get older?
With Colonial Penn, your rate is another sure thing. It will never increase. That's because it comes with something you won't find in other policies, a lifetime rate lock. The rate you start with is the one you keep. Guaranteed. And you should know this coverage can last a lifetime. Some insurance policies end once you reach a certain age. Not this one. As long as you pay your premiums, it's yours for life. Call the number on your screen now, and we'll send you free information by mail. You have nothing to lose, because at Colonial Penn, your satisfaction is another sure thing. Every policy we issue comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you've been thinking about getting life insurance to help your family with funeral expenses and other bills you may leave behind, call for free information today. There's no obligation, and you'll receive a free beneficiary planner just for calling.
Same time next week?
Sure thing.
Call 1-800-248-6940 for your free information and your free beneficiary planner. That's 1-800-248-6940. There's no obligation. 1-800-248-6940. Call now.
In today's Final Touch, in Sweden, most people agree muddy children are happy children.
Preschool children play outdoors as part of the national curriculum for at least 2 hours a day. Children under the age of 7 covered in dirt is no surprise. In fact, it's encouraged. Some preschools are taking it a step further. All of the teaching takes place outdoors. They're called forest schools. They believe a natural environment encourages learning using all 5 senses more than just hearing and seeing in the classroom. This group of 2- and 3-year-olds have been studying fire for the past 6 weeks. With climate change and environmental issues more present in our daily lives, interest in these types of forest schools continues to increase. This one school has a waiting list of 300 students hoping for a chance to attend and get muddy.
Especially the boys.
That's especially the boys. That's our time for now. Thanks for watching. News 3 Now at 5 starts right now.